Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the SWUS. MLB Friday. We got 15 games. 16 now because the Marlins game just got postponed, so that's a double header. So we got 16 games on the board. MLB has not been kind to me recently, but I did start today off with a win. I'm 1-0 today. The second game is until later tonight, so I don't know how my D-backs bets did. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, they did well. But yeah, in this video, we're doing Mets Dodgers in Dodger Stadium. Let's roll. Oh, I forgot to mention, live show 4 p.m. Eastern time. It'll be me, Toast, Prop Beaver, and Kamish. That's at 4 p.m. Eastern time. We'll go through every single game. If you're able to make it, we'd love to see you in the comments. Yeah, so let's get it started.
Welcome to the SWUS. The SWUS. SWUS. Hey, get the SWUS.
All right, like I said, Mets are on the road in Dodger Stadium. LA's a minus 200 favorite, total sitting at 8.5. On the mound for the Mets, we got Sean Manaea. Pitching for the Dodgers is Mr. Yamamoto. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet. And according to the model, we're pretty even after 5 innings, 2.7, 2.3, so slight lean Dodgers. Final score, slight lean towards the Mets. Just gives you an idea of how good the Mets bullpen has been recently. All right, so let's start off with a matchup for Yamamoto against the Mets offense. Yamamoto off to a pretty solid start to his MLB career. Through 4 starts, he's got a 4.50 ERA and a 1.06 WHIP, a 2.84 expected FIP too. That's suggesting that he's actually gotten a bit unlucky, that he's pitched even better than that. And remember, he started off the season with a terrible start on the road in that Korea series. That was against the Padres. 45 ERA in that game, an even 6 WHIP, a 6.82 expected FIP. So he started off the season with a terrible start, but look at his numbers in the 3 starts since then. 1.80 ERA and 0.80 WHIP. He's been absolutely excellent. Strikeout to walk rate over 28. Now he's matched up against the Mets lineup that on the season has been pretty decent against right-handed pitching. 16th in WRC plus, just 26th in isolated power. The power hasn't really been there, and that's a factor in this matchup as well. 11th in on-base percentage. But the thing with the Mets lineup is they really found their groove in the last 11 games. Since April 6th, they're actually 4th in WRC+, 17th in isolated power. So the power still really hasn't been there, but they're 1st in on-base percentage. That's against right-handed pitching in the last 11 games. The last 7 righty starters to pitch against the Mets, they combined for a 5.73 ERA and a 1.43 WHIP. So this Mets lineup is really getting it together against right-handed pitching. But here's the thing with this matchup. I mentioned how the Mets have not been hitting with power. That could be a factor here because the 2 righty starters that actually were able to give the Mets problems recently, Jared Jones and Reynaldo Lopez. Both those guys have super low whips, meaning they don't allow a ton of base runners at all. Their weakness is giving up the long ball. That also describes Yamamoto. Guys who don't allow a lot of base runners at all but are susceptible to the long ball. Yamamoto, an 0.80 whip, less than a base runner per inning, but look at his barrel percentage and hard hit rate. 15% and 55%. So he's giving up a lot of sharp contact, but the Mets aren't hitting with power. So even though the Mets lineup has great numbers against right-handed pitching lately, they're doing it by putting base runners on and getting them around. Probably not going to happen against Yamamoto, who doesn't allow anybody on base. Pitch mix, Yamamoto throws the 4-seam fastball, the curveball, and the splitter. Good news for the Mets, they're 5th in runs above average against the 4-seam fastball. Bad news, 27th and 22nd against the curveball and the splitter. So as hot as the Mets bats are against righties, I'm worried about this matchup here. I think Yamamoto might deal. The other matchup is Sean Manaea against the Dodgers lineup, and this guy's got some pretty shaky history against the Dodgers. The current Dodgers lineup is hitting 297 lifetime off him with an 874 OPS, and that's through 137 plate appearances. So they've seen this guy a lot. Obviously, he used to pitch for the Padres, that's why. And they've had no problem getting to him. Through 10 career appearances against the Dodgers, that's 7 starts and 3 appearances out of the bullpen, Manaea's just 1-5 with a 7.50 ERA and a 1.53 WHIP. So he's struggled against the Dodgers, and he's coming off a shelling at home against the Royals. Kansas City really tagged him up. Just 3 2/3 innings pitched, 9 hits, 3 walks, and 6 earned runs. That's an ugly start. So it looks like the Dodgers lineup should put up an 8-piece in this game, right? Well, hold on. There's actually some angles that I kind of like for Manaea. First off, he's got terrible career numbers against the Dodgers, but actually his last 3 outings against them specifically, 1-0 with a 3.07 ERA and an 0.68 whip. So his last 3 times he pitched against the Dodgers, he pitched very well. And the last time he started a game against the Dodgers, that was just in September. He went 7 innings of shutout baseball, just 3 hits and no walks. So as bad as Manaea's career numbers are against the Dodgers, he's actually pitched well against them 3 straight times. And also, this is a Dodgers lineup that's just not seeing left-handed pitching well right now. Yes, the last time they saw a lefty starter, it was Patrick Corbin, and they were able to get to him. But the previous 5 lefty starters to pitch against the Dodgers, 24 innings pitched, just a 3.75 ERA and a 1.21 whip. Lefties have been giving the Dodgers problems. And you want to know the names of those 5 starters that gave the Dodgers problems? Mitchell Parker, Imanaga, Jordan Wicks, Kyle Harrison, Steven Matz. Those are not exactly Cy Young candidates there. Heading into that Patrick Corbin game, the Dodgers were just 14th in WRC+, 20th in isolated power, and 15th in on-base percentage against left-handed pitching. Now, they tagged Corbin up, so they're up to like 11th, I think, now. But this Dodgers lineup has been very underwhelming against lefties. And Manaea is a guy that's heavily reliant on his fastball. 55.6% of Manaea's pitches are four-seam fastballs, 94th percentile in the league. Dodgers against lefty four-seam fastballs this year, 21st in WOBA, 23rd in isolated power, 22nd in run value. So yeah, I think Yamamoto pitches well against the Mets, but I also like Manaea to pitch well. I like the matchup for both starting pitchers. So before we even look at the bullpen, I like the first 5 under 4.5 here. I think this total is slightly inflated based on the names of the teams. These 2 teams are branded, a lot of talent in the lineup, big run-scoring teams. I think first 5 under has some value here. Now, when we get to the bullpen matchup, this is where actually the New York Mets have the advantage. Mets bullpen has been much better than the Dodgers bullpen so far this year. 9th in ERA to 21st, 12th in expected FIP to 18th, 2nd in FIP to 23rd. Mets bullpen, no question, has outperformed the Dodgers bullpen, and both of these units are extremely rested, both coming off a day off. So part of me is thinking, how do we not take a shot here with the Mets at the big plus price? And Prop Beaver wrote his pick down. Prop Beaver likes the Mets money line at plus 170, and these are Prop Beaver's notes that he wrote. A bit scary as the Dodgers are 50-18 coming off a loss since last year, best in the MLB. So that is concerning. Dodgers 50-18 coming off a loss. But I think Manaea can keep it competitive enough through 5, and Yamamoto is yet to go past 5 innings in a game. Once it gets to the bullpen battle, the Mets have the clear edge with all the high leverage arms rested. I'm terrified to fade the Dodgers against a right-handed pitching, but against a lefty, I feel there's serious value here. So probably likes the Mets, and I agree with them. I like the first 5 under. I think I would go Mets plus 1.5 though. So first 5 under and Mets plus the 1.5. Like I said earlier, live show 4 p.m. Eastern time. We'll go through every single game on the board, all 16 of them. So if you're able to make it, we'd love to see you in the comments. If you want my top bets or top bets from anyone on the staff here, head over to KyleKirms.com. The information's right there on the homepage. There's also a link to join the Discord there as well if you're interested. Let's have ourselves a great weekend. Playoff basketball is here. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you in the Discord.